assembled?
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to be establishing a new crystal access point here at Sacred Sea Temple, which is also going to be one of the master access points for the crystal web. And everyone who wants to take part in this is welcome to take part in it. If for whatever reason you don't want to, you don't have to. But ideally, you will want to. And we have these lovely things for you, which when we move into the space, you will get. And does anyone not know what the crystal web is? Yay! The crystal web is an energetic construct, which is linked by crystal access points, and it's used to send and receive energy and communication. It's, for want of a better way to put it, it's like an artificial network of ley lines and vortices. And it's used in a number of ways. In the recent peace campaign that's been ongoing, we've used the crystal web quite extensively to disseminate the energy of peace and the energy of love. That's the kind of thing it's used for. And people will use their individual access points in more individual ways as well. So, as you will see behind me, there is a design. There is a square, there is a circle, and there is a triangle. And in the very middle, there is a hole. And the hole is for the primary crystal. Is this the primary crystal here? Behold, the primary crystal. And these are all secondary crystals that are going to go in the design. And each one of you who chooses to be involved will be taking one of these and charging it as we're charging this. They'll all be charged together. And they'll be demarking these symbols. Now, who would like to explain what the three symbols mean? Don't all answer at once. I guess I'll have to do it then. So, the square is for stability. And that's why it's the outermost symbol. And it's to anchor this particular access point very firmly in place, to anchor its energy very firmly in place, and to strengthen its energies and the focus of the energies. Notice how I pronounce that, focus. Next we see the circle. The circle amplifies energy. And so its purpose is to amplify that energy that's already being stabilized. So it's being amplified within the stabilization. And then we have the triangle, which is transformative in character. And it is to make this energy a very transformative energy, and an energy that will bring simultaneously change, amplification, and stability when it is opened and used. And which will be uppermost will depend in part upon which of the different symbols is particularly accessed. And all of them will be bearing upon the primary crystal access point. So, some of you will already probably have access points of your own. I see a couple of heads nodding. So you already know how to do the crystal, but I'm sure that there are many who do not. So we will be going through it. We also have instructions in several places online for anyone who's watching this in the video and wants to have written instructions. They do exist in a number of places. Or they can just follow along with what we're going to do. So I think we're ready now to fill in the design.
So anyone that's interested, come forward. I'll hand you one of these. And take your place in line, or according to Don's directions, where to go. There's a crystal inside, where Don already said.
What you're getting is you're getting a crystal, you're getting a pokey stick. The pokey stick is to make the hole to put the crystal in. No. At least not during the ceremony.
They can pick a spot any place? Or?
It's up to Don.
If you have a strong preference of which of the three symbols you want to be in, then you can go to that. Otherwise, we'll be moving you around once we get in.
So basically, just take a spot for now.
Yeah.
As you get your crystal,
Just come on in.
you get to listen. Oh, okay.
And Angela, if you will stay at the corner of that square. And Holly, you're already on the corner of the square. Excellent. Jessica's on the corner of the square. We're going to have our triangle filling in. Excellent. So what I'm going to ask you to do is take out the crystal from the little cup and hold it in your hand. And you can go ahead and place the pokey stick into the ground to mark where you're at. I think you're okay. And actually, Chuck, I'd like you to move over to the side of the circle. And can I have you one foot this way?
About halfway.
Yep.
Yes.
That will be perfect.
And if you need a
there.
stronger pokey stick, because if your dirt is exceptionally tough, we have stronger pokey sticks.
Yes. Pokey stick is the technical term sanctioned by many years of use. Uh, Why don't we put them right here near the center in case anyone needs a stronger one they don't know yet. Excellent. So before we begin, let's take a moment to clear and release all excess energy. Just let it flow out of you like water flowing down through your arms, your legs, out through your hands, and your feet. Returning to the earth element. Let us take 3 deep breaths, and as we breathe in, we shall breathe in the love of Goddess. As we breathe out, we shall breathe out anything that might limit us. Breathe in the love of Goddess. Breathe out all that might limit you. Breathe in the love of Goddess. Breathe out all that might limit you. Breathe in the love of Goddess. Breathe out all that might limit you. And now I'm going to do what some who know me dread. Not the group hug, something else. We're going to chant the sacred syllable O 3 times. Now, if you will hold your crystal more or less directly in front of you, I'd like you to imagine above it, not too far above it, but a little bit above it, the image of a tetrahedron. or a triangle if you prefer to think of it as a three-dimensional triangle. I want you to open your crown chakra and allow the light of the universe to come in through the crown chakra. Imagine it as a beautiful green light. Beautiful, clear green light coming down from above and around, down through your crown chakra, moving down along your spine, and filling your entire body, moving down your arms, down your legs, your hands to your feet, completely filling you. And become aware of your heart chakra as this energy fills you. Feel that beautiful, clear green light moving through your heart. And let the light move in every part of you, and let it move through your heart. And from your heart, send forth a beam of that beautiful, clear green light into the tetrahedron above the crystal. And let the light come in through the crown, move through your heart and into the tetrahedron. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Beautiful, clear green light moving through us. And within a few moments, you will see your tetrahedron begin to change. It will shift from a tetrahedron to a cube. When that happens, you'll see the green light move through the cube and down into the crystal. Let the green light continue to come in through your crown chakra, continue to move through your body, through your heart, filling the tetrahedron until it becomes a cube, and then filling the crystal. See the beautiful clear green light going into the crystal and filling the crystal completely. See that green light shining out from all directions within the crystal, filling it and filling it and filling it. And as this light fills the crystal, think about the three shapes that we have placed around us. Imagine them clearly in your mind, even as the green light moves through you. Stability, amplification, transformation. Let us also take a moment to think of peace and love. And behold, O crystals, we charge you to carry forth this energy to establish a nexus of connection to the crystal web. Remain connected to us and connect us to one another through the crystal web. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Now if you'll take your pokey stick and create a little hole, large enough for your crystal.
Now these would be guided.
It will not be terribly deep.
Okay, okay.
Deep enough that raccoons aren't going to dig it up, hopefully.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but do they dig it?
We haven't watched.
It's not tasty enough for that.
Then as soon as you're ready, let me know.
It might take a while.
Yeah, go ahead and put your crystal in.
Do you want the point in any certain direction?
Actually, I would say it is probably best to point them in a clockwise direction from this point of view. So,
So I would point mine that way.
yes.
She
And
would
if you're in
point
the
hers that way.
triangle, point it according to the lines of the triangle. If you're in the circle, point it according to the lines of the circle, and so forth. If you're on the corner with the square, just point it downward.
Corner of the triangle pointed that way.
Yes.
And on
The triangle will go like so. The circle will go like so. The square will
I
go,
remember reading that somewhere.
yes.
And you know, it rained all morning here, and yet
Mine is already done. I'm putting it up and down.
That's fine. In that case, that's what it's meant to be. Oh my God, a unicorn.
Oh, I was actually going to put another one on the other side.
I shall reserve comment on this. And I would say to Mark, the spot where your crystal is with your little unicorn horn. For now. And if you happen to be down, stay down. But if you are old and stiff like myself, you don't have to get down. Sorry, Mike. Now what we're going to do in just a moment is we're going to create the access point. We'll let them go by first.
So, Davey?
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to link the crystals and create the access point. So when that happens, depending on your sensitivity to energy, you may see where they link. But ideally, they should link first along these geometric shapes. Then you should see them shoot out in other directions. So what I'm going to ask people to do is to visualize as they're linking the geometric shapes. So I'm going to ask everyone to become aware of your heart chakra. And fill your heart chakra with beautiful, clear, white light. And in the light, feel love and peace and strength. And let us set into this beautiful, clear, white light our intention to establish this access point. And imagine the crystal that you have buried within that beautiful, clear, white light. Now, from your heart to the crystal, send forth a beam of white light. Send it forth into that crystal. So that it forms a ball of light around the crystal. See that ball of light very strong, very bright, shining forth in all directions around the crystal. Behold, O crystals, we charge you to link together with the crystal web at this time, to function together as a master access point with the crystal web. Behold, we open you, and we connect you. You'll see that light beginning to shoot out in different directions now. See it going forward. And imagine the light shooting now through the three geometric designs. See the triangle, see the circle, see the square, delineated with beautiful, clear white light. You'll see many other shining beams of light shooting out in other directions as well. See them shooting off to connect with other crystal access points. See them connecting into the web and becoming part of it. We charge you, O access point, to be a master access point for the crystal web. To open when called upon by the first priesthood of the tradition and by the guardians of the web. We call upon you to convey energy inward and outward, around and about. Now, let us take a moment to place into the the master access point thoughts of peace and love and strength and beauty. See them disseminating through the web. Behold, there is one power in the universe, and we are all of us perfect manifestations of that power, and acting together by our will we will. This master access point is now established and linked. By our will we see it, we draw it into being, we align the pattern, we manifest. We accept it, we receive it, we give thanks for it. And this crystal in the cauldron above the central crystal will be the remote access point, which can be used for ceremonies that are not physically here to access this access point. Now take a moment to clear and release excess energy. And we will have finished, because they close on their own. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Now the next thing we're going to do, we actually can do it right here, since most people are sitting anyway. We are going to do the Crown Attunement, which is an energetic attunement. And what I'm going to ask Elise to come here, because he's already had this attunement. I'm going to ask Stephanie to come here, because she's had this attunement. And what I'm going to ask is everyone who wants the attunement, please come to one of the three of us, one at a time, and we will do the attunement for you. I should probably warn you what this attunement is, however, before we do it. You will want to know that. And what this should do is it should help to open you further psychically and magically. That is what it does, and that's it works with the crown chakra. And it's going to change some of those connections. And so you will find a greater facilities in doing this kind of work. So be warned. That's not a bad thing, but just be aware that you may feel stronger energy than you felt before. You may get messages more easily than you've gotten before. And that's a good thing. But you do want to know.
And if you need to sit down.
Yeah, you'll probably want to sit down after. So be warned. You may feel this while it's happening, you may not. It's very different for every person. Sit down whenever you're ready. May the next victim, subject. I hope everybody is feeling okay. One of the things about this attunement is that having had it, you should be able to pass it on. But it will be helpful to know what we did, so you'll know what to do. I will also tell you that it tends to be different for different people. It's not always identical, but what one does is you bring down the energy, you ask the ancestors to help you to focus it, and you bring it into the grid work of the crown chakra. And you should be able to see that grid work as the energy enters. I usually see it in terms of lines connecting points. Kind of the same way we would visualize the crystal web, except inside. And I see that in green light, and it's the green light that connects. And it's the green light you're bringing in, although I see it as white light coming in, but then it becomes green. And the grid will be green, in my experience. Sometimes individual points will light up. They may light up as red, they may light up as green, they may light up as blue. Depending on where the person is in their previous experience, any number of other things can happen. I had one person who seemed to shoot lightning out of their head when I was doing this. But that person was a very accomplished oracle. A couple of the people today had energetic spikes shooting out while we were doing this, for want of a better way to put it. So when you do this, be aware things may happen. The other thing that happens is that from the very back of the neck, sometimes things will come out that are being removed by the energy. And you may have seen us pulling something out. That's what it was. How you would perceive that could be very individual. But it's basically blocked energy that's being released. And it should come out on its own even if you don't pull it, but it helps. I ask the ancestors to help to focus the energy, and I just kind of run it through the points. And I ask to be shown through my palms when it's enough. And I feel like a little release in the palm, and that's when I know that the connections have been made. Often the light will have shot through the grid before that feeling ever comes, so I'll keep putting the energy in until I'm told it's enough. And then it's not a bad idea to anchor it down the spine, which, if you noticed, we were doing also. So that's the basic process. And like I say, it's different every time. The person may or may not feel it. Some people will feel it really strongly. Some people will not, like any other kind of energy work. And they may not feel what you're seeing either, because they may feel it in other parts of their body sometimes, because all of these things link, all of the meridians link throughout the body. And sometimes when you put energy into that crown chakra, they'll feel it in their arms or their heart or other places, because it all is connected. But what you're doing is you're working with the energetic grid in the crown chakra. And as I say, what it does is it's kind of like a tune-up, for want of a better way to put it. A tune-up, and it's making connections that were not there previously. So it's a little bit more than a tune-up. And you should see a difference in psychic working.
Now, when you say tune-up,
It's probably not the best term I could use.
because when I think of tune-up, I'm thinking of balancing the chakras
No,
and
yeah,
everything in
that's why
working circulation.
this has a
seems
little bit
like
of
a
that, but this is
one-time
more than
thing.
that. Yeah. It does that. It tunes up the crown chakra, but it also makes new connections, which kind of move it up a notch. If those of you who have had the third degree, I believe it's in third degree, where we talk about energetic constructs in the body, this is kind of like that, except it's not an outside construct, but it is connecting the meridians in a different way inside. And it has the effect of kind of revving everything up. And so you should find, especially those of you who do oracular work, I think you will find it will take on a new dimension for you. So that's what we've just done to you. Hope you don't regret it now. Yes.
So would it be good to think of it as doing a little updating on the way?
Yes, that's a perfect description. It's an upgrade of the wiring.
That's right.
Yeah.
We all got a crown upgrade.
Well, and those who have had third degree will also remember we talk about conscious evolution. And that's kind of part of what this is too. The idea is that as we go forward into the new age, we're going to be more psychic, but that also means we have to make ourselves more psychic. and that's part of what this is, that it is a change to the energetic system. It has its origin in spirit, but we also have to work with it here in the flesh as well. And it doesn't hurt to have this done more than once. It is a good idea to do it for anybody who will let you do it, because it's not going to hurt anyone, but it should help anyone. The one exception I would say to that is if someone who seems to be for want of a better way to put it, mentally unbalanced, were asking for it, I would say that unless you have a good bit of experience, I would be hesitant to do that. Now, if you do have the experience, it might be different, and kind of ask the ancestors for guidance. And if they say do it, well then, it would be a thing to do. But that would be the only circumstance in which I think it would be a bad idea. And even then, like I say, it might not be. Ask and allow yourself to be guided. And it can be done, can actually even be done for babies in the womb. And would be done exactly the same way. Any other questions? Feel a little bit like Dr. Frankenstein, but it wasn't my idea, it was the ancestors, so it's kind of like Ancestor Frankenstein. That's true. Well, that's the thing. That's exactly what it is, because a number of us have had this kind of attunement done for many years now. I had this attunement done, and a number that follow it, because there will be more coming in the next few months. In the 1980s, long, long time ago. And I've often found that I have a very great facility with oracle work versus some other people that I see. I think the attunement has something to do with that. It's one of the reasons I say if you do oracle work, expect it to deepen. That's what it's for. And you may find that you're seeing and hearing things that you have not seen and heard previously. And if you have any problem with that, give us a call, give us an email, but you shouldn't. In my experience, it will not be a problem, but you will become aware of it. So, with that, I will turn the altar over to Lady Stephanie.
As we leave the sacred ground and move into the pearl to listen to our lovely Lady Lily, you'll select a crystal, and all stones are crystal. And that will be the stone that you'll use to connect to the master. And then you can keep the card, take home. So you'll take a stone and you'll take a work or a focus of what you're going to be focused on, possibly for the rest of your life. So let's get in line as we take it, and then we can just move right into the pearl. And if you want to just discuss among yourselves, then we're already there, sitting comfortably in a nice, cool pearl. All right. So let's start with Jessie, and then you can head on to the pearl.
Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world.